Welcome, guys. Welcome. Your fearlesschoice.com daily hit and run show. Sorry, you caught me daydreaming there for a second. Pico here for your Fearless Choice. Check us out, yourfearlesschoice.com. We do this daily show every day, 10 a.m. Eastern, but Thursday, because usually Thursday is a split slate getaway day. So we take it going on your Fearless Choice. Check the site out. Promo right now for MLB, $25 a month, but that includes all sports, not just MLB. And right now, there's kind of a lull in sports, but at your Fearless Choice, we are rocking. I was just actually looking at our winning lineup room and tennis. If anybody plays DFS tennis, it is totally crushing right now. These guys are rolling. I see Chris Duffy, my partner on a college basketball show. I think he looks like he took down a tennis tournament, I think, yesterday. Our soccer guy just looks like he took down a GPP EPL showdown yesterday. The counterattack, maybe. That's Riley Picks. He's a big horse racing guy. But what else we got? A lot of guys cashing the MLB last night easily, it looks like. But especially tennis. Tennis was really rocking. I think we had the best cheat sheet in the industry. Lots of times the tennis is free. So join the Discord, discord.gg/ your Fearless Choice. And there's a lot of free rooms, plus there's a lot of premium rooms also. So it's a small sport. We pretty much cover it. Big night tonight. WNBA is back tonight. NBA is back. NHL playoffs are back. My Rangers are starting to play. They're starting the next round today against Carolina. I'm excited for that. And then we have MLB. And MLB tonight is, to me, a crazy slate. For Tuesday night, it's just crazy. So we're going to actually walk through this. And any of you guys that are watching live, this will be on demand all day, but any of you guys that are watching live, jump in the chat, please, and ask questions, get involved, help me out or whatever. You guys have any stats you can throw out there, whatever. I appreciate it all. Okay, so let's get right on it with MLB. 11 games slate. Yeah, it's 11 games, but it's weird because we have a 3-game early slate. We're just going to talk about the main, though. Weather, I don't see any major weather issues. Game 2 of the Royals game, possibly. We're seeing, I think we're going to get Giolito in that game. So that's the one game where actually we want to go off because the pitching is terrible tonight. Possibly some scattered showers in the Pittsburgh Pirates Cubs game, but nothing major where we're looking at any kind of postponements tonight. All right. Meadow Alloy, what's up, man? Good morning. Yes, yesterday was a disaster pitching. What do we look at tonight? I actually did well on my pitching last night where I did the Peralta Severino double barrel play. But man, we got Bogarts right. I was all over him yesterday on the show. Devers did not come through for us. That was the one that hurt us. But Giants didn't come through. You got to watch them all that pinch hitting. If you Eli White, one thing we noticed when Syndergaard's pitching, you play guys that run. Eli White had a big game. And I ended up going Garlic. And Garlic missed a home run by like 5 feet. Would have made a big difference. But welcome any of you guys watching live. I said throw some comments out there, stats, questions, whatever you want. Make the show go by easier. Let's look at Vegas and some stats. Vegas and some implied runs right now for the main slate, 7:05. Obviously, it's a core slate, but it looks like there is wind blowing in course, some little bit of crazy wind issues, kind of like that. Maybe keep people down off it. So 6.3 is the top implied runs of the slate. That's the Giants. They opened at 5.5. Now they're jumped up to 6.3. They're the only team above 6 runs. Only 2 teams above 5 runs. The Yankees and Rockies are only at 5 runs. So right now, the Giants are 1.3 runs higher than any other team in the slate. Giants going up against Chad Kuhl, who actually is better than Senzatello, who actually left early last night. Yankees going up against, was it Spencer Watkins, I think, at Baltimore. So what, the Yankees are 5. That's it. Rockies, Yankees, Giants, only teams above 5 runs. Beside that, you got the Angels, 4.6, the Dodgers, 4.6, the Red Sox, 4.5. That's it. On the money line, biggest favorite tonight is the Yankees, minus 235. That's Jameson Taillon. We're going to be talking about him in a second for pitching. He has the highest odds to win tonight, minus 235. Or him or the Dodgers. Both of them are 235. And beside that, Giants 162, Blue Jays minus 142, and the Cubbies minus 142. I got the Cubby stack right there last night. I went to them the last second, and they did me well. Just some news. Contreras hit his 100th home run yesterday, Wilson Contreras, and that was on a grand slam. So what a way to get your 100th home run. Nothing else like crazy happened last night. Any big news? I don't think there's any big injuries. Like we were talking about yesterday. Beside Contreras' big home run, Jake Odorizzi got hurt. He was carted off the field. Yeah, I think it was a lower leg injury, I think it was. And that was really it. It was kind of a quiet night for any major news. Eric, if you can, throw the Discord address in the chat. Because I said a lot of tennis stuff has been free. We also have Formula One coming this week. We'll have a Formula One show. I think we have a golf show tomorrow too. This is a big golf week. Okay, so that's Vegas. That's news. Let's get into this pitching. This pitching is what I would consider a mess. Well, I guess, we're not positive yet, but it looks like we're going to get Giolito tonight. If Dylan Cease is going to go the first game, a lot of projections right now are still showing Cease though at 7 o'clock. But I'm pretty sure Cease is going early. We'll have a core for early in our premium site. Eric's gonna be doing that. Who's actually on the chat right now. So let's look at pitching. Top of the line. Looking at, if you want to start like with salary, you got Logan Gilbert. Gilbert's in a bad spot, I would say. He may be one of the better pitchers on the slate, but he's going up against Toronto. So he's 10-2. So I think talent-wise, your best two pitchers are Logan Gilbert tonight and Giolito, but maybe GBP for Gilbert here. So he's going up against Toronto. Toronto right now is striking out for righties 23% of the time, 234 average, 153 ISO. He's got a decent 28% strikeout rate, 9% walk rate. I don't like that walk rate, but I don't mind a strikeout rate. And the one thing about Gilbert, though, one thing I'm liking about Gilbert is he is avoiding hard contact. So one thing, much like one of the main things I actually look for is hard contact. And right now he's only allowing hard contact. It's 40. Oh, I am completely wrong. I have 43.5% hard contact. So he is getting hit a little bit hard. Sorry. But Gilbert's GBP only. I don't think you can run him in cash. So who are we going to run in cash? First of all, I think if we have Giolito, if Giolito is going, I think you got to run Giolito in cash. He's the guy. Just got to make sure he's going. He's scheduled to come off COVID. I don't think we have to worry about that. Even if he is not like fully stretched out, if they're not going to go fully with the rest of these pitchers, I still think you go Giolito. Because he should be. I think he's still on like a normal 6-day rest. I believe so. And he's been great. He's strikeout rate 35, almost 36%. Walk rate is only 7%. He will give up a home run. So that's where you're going to get, but it's the Royals, and Royals don't hit home runs. So if Giolito goes, I think to me, he's your SP1. You go to Gilbert as like your pivot in GBPs. But I will be playing Gilbert in cash. So who's our SP2 in cash? Probably Jameson Talon. He's not a strikeout guy. I watch him every start with the Yankees. One thing about him, he's throwing that cutter more. He's not throwing a four-seamer as much. He's throwing a cutter more, and it's working. But, like Gilbert, what you're going to get out of Talon, you're lucky you get 20 DK points. That's just how it is. How it is most of these guys tonight. But Talon is going up against the Orioles, and we all pick on the Orioles. We know that. The problem is, though, is Talon's only two bad starts this year were against the Orioles. Early in the season at Baltimore, he only had 8 DK points, and then like 2 weeks later at home at the stadium, he only had 9 DK points. So, and usually you're going to get 15 and 20 DK points out of him. He got 15 in Toronto, actually had a good game against Toronto, and then the last 2 games against Toronto, 21 DK points and 15. So he is still in a good spot. He's going to be popular because it's against the Orioles. He's out of all the rest of these pitchers, he probably is your top SP2, I would think. So right now I'm looking at a Talon, Giolito cash play as long as Giolito starts. Who else we have on slate? Another play. Everybody knows my fandom for Alex Cobb. I love Alex Cobb. I think he's actually in a good spot tonight in Colorado in course. But once again, his course was GPP only. But this is a perfect spot for Alex Cobb. His ground ball right now is 70%. Alex Cobb's a ground ball pitcher, and if it goes into course, a 70% ground ball, winds blowing in. Colorado right now has got a 160 ISO to righties. So heavy favorite tonight. So I think I'd be afraid to use him in cash, because you never know what happens there. But definitely, he'd probably be my top GPP play along with Logan Gilbert is Alex Cobb. All right. Is there anybody else? Maybe Keegan Thompson versus the Pirates. You pick on the Pirates. Look at what Wade Miley did yesterday. Boom. I talked about him in the chat yesterday. I had him as a value punt play in the top plays. I didn't use him. I did use him in GPP, and he did well. So you get Keegan Thompson. The question with Keegan Thompson is going to be how many pitches what's he, $6,800 on DK? How many pitches is Thompson going to throw? Against the Padres, 61. Against the Dodgers, 54. White Sox, 46. So he's gone up 46, 50, 54, 61, 75 pitches out of him. I guess I'll take that. We got the wind right now. The wind's blowing in at Wrigley, 8 miles an hour. It's a pitcher-friendly park. The Pirates striking out 24% to righties, 140 ISO to righties. This is all made for a really good game for Keegan Thompson. The main thing is he's not going to go over what I'm seeing now. I'm reading as I'm talking. It's looking like he's probably going to be around 65, 70 pitches tonight. But, hey, I'd rather have Keegan Thompson at 6'8", get me 12 DK points than get blown up by somebody else. All right. That's all I'm really looking at for pitching. I mean, it's 11-game slate. There's other leagues you can go, but it's a bad pitching slate. It really is. Jose Barrios to me is just a GPP play, of course, only. I don't mess with Barrios there. Looks like Zach. For some reason, I thought Merrill Kelly was gone, but it's Zach Davies. So I certainly don't mess with Zach Davies. Urquidy, nope. Against Boston, I'll probably be on Boston bats again. Here's another popular play possibly is Reed Detmers. I didn't bring up Reed Detmers. He's going to be popular coming off that no hitter. So if anything, I'm probably going to stack. I never play a pitcher after a no hitter, and I'll probably stack against Detmers because he's going to be popular. And Detmers is not Max Scherzer. The other question we have is who's pitching for the Dodgers tonight? I'm seeing Tyler Anderson, and then I'm seeing Ryan Pepoit. I guess both of them are in play against Arizona. We just don't know who's going. I don't mind Tyler. I don't mind either of them. If it's Anderson, definitely I'll probably throw him in something. So let's wrap this up. I'm looking at right now for cash. Once again, it could totally change. This is an early look. I am looking at Talon and Giolito. And then GPP, I'm looking at Cobb. I'm looking at Logan Gilbert. I'm looking at Keegan Thompson. And here's another name I didn't bring up. One more name is Nathan Eovaldi against the Astros. You don't usually pick on the Astros. They don't strike out much. He's like a Logan Gilbert tonight. Astros striking out 22% of the time, 240 hours, 184 ISO. I like Gilbert better, but Eovaldi would be in your little GPP game, your little GPP pale also. That's what it is. Okay, thank you, Eric. It's a GPP. So it's a doubleheader. So it looks like we're getting Tyler Anderson in the late game. Okay. Kelly or Cap? Well, this is where I'm getting a mix. Who's is Davies or Kelly going a second game? This is where I'm getting. This is where I'm getting. I have like 3 different sites up, and I'm getting 3 different answers on who's going the late game for Arizona. And I still have it to be determined on MLB.com. So I'm a big Merrill Kelly guy. If Merrill Kelly, even as the Dodgers, I always saw Merrill Kelly in a GPP. Cap 7.7 against Minnesota. He's 7,700. That could be a sneaky call. Who just asked that question? Denver Peterson. Now, definitely not. Definitely don't be using capping cash, but he's going against. He's in Oakland Coliseum, probably the most friendly pitcher park on the slate. Twins striking out 23% to righties. We have some BVP where they don't hit cap, 180, 22 at bats. I see that. His numbers are just like, like blah, nothing great, nothing bad. Got a really good start against Minnesota in Minnesota. That's true. 22 DK points. So yeah, Cap. I guess Cap would be a GPP play, but I'm not saying play him in cash. No, I would say probably Cap over Kelly versus the Dodgers. Yeah, if Kelly's going to game 2. I always get Kelly in something because I think Kelly has turned it around. Is such a good pitcher, but you never pick on the Dodgers. Okay, so that's pitching. It'll be more in Discord tonight also as the days go on. We get confirmations on pitchers and all that. We'll be throwing more information out there. Okay, so we're gonna go around the bases. So ask questions. Give me some ideas. I'll give some BVP out there. I'm gonna also give you some hot streaks and then my overall top play. I'm not sure if I have any projected ownership out there yet. There may be. So let's start with catching. The position we always start at. We usually end up punting catching, but catching right now. BVP. Is there anybody out there that's got any kind of a decent BVP today? Average wise, no. Just catcher. Nobody jumps out there. Will Smith against Merrill Kelly. Smith 7 for 14 off Merrill Kelly. So whatever game Kelly's pitching, Will Smith might be in play. We always like Will Smith anyways. He's 7 for 14. Not a bad average. Not a bad BVP there. I usually look at like over 15. So look at Will Smith tonight. That's it for BVP. Looking at anybody hot. This is tough as well. The early games and doubleheaders. Try to remember which guys are on the slate tonight. The later slate. Kurt Casale right now. Well, he had a big game yesterday, so obviously he's hot. Nobody really that's really jumping out. I played John Gomes last night. He always does well from when I play him. So John Gomes is always in play. If he plays, and the Contreras is hot. Okay, let's looking at going through advanced metrics. Top catcher tonight is going to be, so if it's let's talk as if it's Merrill Kelly tonight. That's what I'm seeing now. Kelly's pitching. Will Smith is our catcher. He's our pay up of 4,800. He hits righties. He's a really good reverse splits hitter. 266 ISO, 383 Wool, and he hits Merrill Kelly. So pay up is Will Smith. Anybody else in play? Always Sanchez for GPP. We know Sanchez can catch a bomb or two. I think he hit a bomb last night. If I remember right, he did. He's really heating up, man. He's got home run now. Like 2 of his last 3 or 4. He's been hitting some doubles and stuff. So decent on split right now too. So Gary Sanchez is in play for GPPs. Jonah Heim, if Jonah Heim plays, he's dropped down a little bit down to 4-4. I like that better. That's more manageable salary. Great numbers right now against the lefty. 225 ISO, 364 Woba, almost 300 batting average. Heim's in play. I think Grandal finally got the shot last night, right? I think he hit a home run. So Grandal and Singer. Sean Murphy, maybe. Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers hits righties a little bit. I know, even though he's a right-handed batter. Once again, catchers, you look at the end of before the slate locks. Look, see what kind of values out there. Who's starting? Get anybody cheap? If not, you're gonna pay a ball for. I would say Will Smith. If it's Merrill Kelly, even if it's Davey, should play Will Smith. Nobody else is like Higashioka, but he's over 3K now. Joey Bart and Coors, he's 3-4. I don't know. I do like Joey Bart, but if I'm gonna go up, I'm going up a little bit more for Will Smith. All right, so Will Smith, or let's find a value play at lock for catcher. Let's get off a catcher, and let's move on to first base. First base would obviously be a little more interesting for us. Once again, anybody that owns a pitcher tonight? No, I don't see anything. So the Dodgers obviously have hit Max Muncy. I'm trying to think. I can't remember when they destroyed Max Muncy, but they obviously did recently at one point because now Muncy is hitting 429 against Merrill Kelly, and Freeman hits him. So it must have been this year. Because Freeman's 4 for 9. All right, so Kelly's pitching. Obviously, we got the Dodgers in play. Obviously, they like Merrill Kelly. So we have a BVP for free Freddie. Anybody red hot at first base, we can look at Miggy's hot, but the Tigers aren't. Are the Tigers on the late slate? There's so many these doubleheaders. No, they're not, right? So forget I said Miggy's name. Nobody's really jumping out. Yuli Gurriel is hitting 417 over the last week, so he's in play. Like that play. Ty France has been hitting the ball, so you can look at Ty France. Here's a name people don't realize. I saw a stat on Twitter, and I can't remember who it was. I wanted to give him credit because I don't like giving people stats out unless somebody on Twitter, and I apologize, just gave a really good stat on Christian Walker. Christian Walker right now is totally on fire, and it might have been more of a season-long thing about, picking up Christian Walker, but Christian Walker's on fire. So, season-long or DFS, he's always cheap on DFS. You can't get hurt with Christian Walker. So, throw him out there. It's because the Dodgers. Nobody in the Dodgers right now is really scaring me. So, these pitchers tonight for Dodgers, so Christian Walker is definitely in play. All right, look at advanced metrics. I'm sorry, I can't find that name, but advanced metrics tonight, first base, the big play is going to be Freddie. So if it's Freddie, if Kelly's going, Freddie's got the split. Smoking 262 ISO, 430 WOBA, 318 batting average. Freddie's the play at 5-1. Okay. Ohtani, lefty against Taylor Hearn. He's in play. Gavin Sheets didn't play last night. He's probably going to play tonight against righty. And I'm a big Sheets guy. It's only $2,900. Gavin Sheets will lose one. Definitely a good one-off. So if you want somebody cheap at GPs, you can look at Gavin Sheets. Matt Olson. Olson's in another good spot tonight. We're not even talking much about Atlanta tonight. Here's a sneaky spot. These Braves. So Matt Olson against Hauser. Hauser got totally blown up last game. Lefty righty. Brandon Belt back in Coors. Wasn't good last night. He'll lose one point in the series. He gets the platoon advantage. Guerrero against Gilbert. Vlad Jr. is a reverse splits hitter. You got Rizzo in Baltimore on the split. Really, first baseman's loaded tonight. Vogelbach. I'm not paying $4.7 for Vogelbach when I can pay some of these other guys, but Vogelbach's got the split also against Keegan Thompson. Rowdy Tellez. Rowdy will always lose one, but he's got a lefty tonight. So Freddie's your play by far. Not Matt Olson, great pivot. Ohtani, great pivot, of course. We like Gavin Sheets. Then you got Brandon Belt. So that's a really quick wrap up for first base. We'll see if anybody surprisingly plays tonight that's really cheap. But if not, I'll be looking at maybe like Gavin Sheets. I imagine Gavin Sheets will be in the lineup today. All right, first base. I'm sorry, I've looked at anybody with any questions. All right. Would you use something like Christian Walker in cash? Let me pull him up. I got him right here in front of me. So let's talk like the site I'm looking at's got Tyler Anderson. It could be Tyler Anderson or Pipoy. Say if it's Tyler Anderson, you got the platoon advantage. Walker, I don't know, man. Walker really does hit. He really does hit lefties. I don't think you can use him in cash because when you got the spot Freddie's in tonight, I think you could value somewhere else like in the outfield. You got to use Freddie, Olson, or Belt tonight. So no, but I wouldn't. If you told me you're playing Christian Walker, I'm not going to talk you off it. But Walker's been hitting really well. He's just a very unheralded player. All right, second base. BVP wise, now we got on the other side, Ketel Marte. If it's Tyler Anderson, Marte is Anderson. 9 for 20, 2 home runs. Tony Kemp. I knew I saw Tony Kemp BVP. I thought it was last night. I almost played Kemp last night. Kemp hits Dylan Bundy, 6 for 14. So we got 2 decent ones, Marte and Tony Kemp. Anybody red hot? Marte's been hitting it right on the nails. Definitely. As of late, Willie Castro for the Tigers when not playing. Witt's been hitting finally. He's hitting 400 last week. Finally, Witt's back playing. Some of that may obviously from Coors, but whatever. We said Ty Francis hit Francis first base, right? Adam Frazier's been hitting the ball well. Trey Turner's been hitting the ball. Gleybar's been hitting the ball. All those guys are hot. Let's look at advanced metrics now for second base. Our top play is going to be Marte. So if we can fit Ketel Marte at 4,900, that's your play. You get the BVP, and he's got the splits: 286 ISO, 452 WOBA, 378 batted in. This is going back to 2021. This ain't just like the last 2 months. Marte's your play if you got the money at 4,900. Marcus Semien is eventually going to Hosmer BVP. I'll get back to that. Semien eventually is going to start hitting. I'm not playing until he starts hitting. People just keep playing, hoping it's going to come. Eventually it will, but Altuve against Eovaldi. Probably respect Eovaldi a little bit too much to play Altuve and cash. Trevor Story just can't hit. He needs to go back to Coors or something. Because Torrey, I watched him last night, but I think he finally lose one. I think he hit one last night. Those first 2 at bats, man, he just looks bad. Yeah, he did hit one last night. So Trevor, I'm sorry, but still, he's at like 180 over the last 20 games. Rojo Odor, always, you can always play Odor as a cheap play as your last guy in. Here's one: Ozzy Albies against a lefty. You play Albies for lefty against lefties for power. He's got Hauser tonight. I mean, just because Hauser had that one, I don't want to keep beating on Hauser because he had that one bad start. He's had a decent year. So, but Albies definitely in play. It's a lefty. I said Torres against Watkins, good spot. Toro, I don't play Abraham Toro anymore. He's just turned into a bad hitter. He's hitting 138. It was last 20. Okay, that's why I didn't see Hosmer, because he's not in the main slate. All right, sorry. So second base, Ketel Marte's your play. Once he's in the same pay up area, Muncy would be like his GPP pivot, even though he's just not hitting 161 over his last 20. But you play him once against righties. That's second base is, to me, after Marte. It's all Marte. So I think you got to find value. Somebody you want Marte and Freeman tonight. DJ is 4,600. I'd rather play Marte in that spot. Here's one: Tommy La Stella. He didn't play last night, right? No, he did. He did play. I think he got pulled or something. I think he got pulled for pinch hitter. But La Stella's only 2,100. He gets the advantage against Cool. He's going to be popular then. Jorge Polanco. I always like to play Polanco. To me, it's Ketel Marte, but it's gonna be tough to get up there at that price. So if you can't, I guess you're looking at a play like a Tommy La Stella. You get the Coors advantage, but I said wind's blowing in. Maybe Matt Duffy. If you could start tonight against Hearn. I mean, I've won plenty of money with Matt Duffy. Yeah, that's a good point you made there, Eric. Witt's hitting like 400 over the last week. Finally, and some of that's Coors. But he's finally starting to wake up a little bit. So what's Witt's price? His price they usually don't mess with his price. He is 48. So if I'm at that territory, I'm just gonna go with, I'm going with a Marte or something like that. I want to keep harping on Marte, but I think he's a good spot today. All right, the second base. We have Freeman first, Marte second. We got to find value somewhere. Probably would be our catcher. So let's go third. Third right now. Probably going to see Justin Turner and then beating up Merrill Kelly, right? We have Justin Turner's just terrible, though. Yeah, Turner, 7 for 18. So I got to look back. They must have had one big game against Kelly. But anybody else? Alex Bregman hits Nathan Eovaldi, 8 for 14, 571 batting average. That's a decent BVP. So anything over like 12, 13, I'll look at. Justin Turner, I said 389. Turner is starting to hit better, though. I did this whole write-up on Turner over the weekend about how he's definitely cut ties with him if you haven't season long, and then he just goes off. Maybe look like a fool, but I do think his years are behind him. Anybody else we're looking at that's red hot at third base is not. I mean, Devers is hot. He let me down last night big time. So that means Devers hit a home run tonight. So that's true. That always happens. Somebody lets me down. Josh Donaldson's in almost 400 the last 7. Good spot for Donaldson. And there you go. Turner's hitting 320 his last 7 games. After I blew him up, I did a 2,000-word article on him, and he made me look like a fool. So who's our top third baseman on the slate? It's got to be some good spots here. It's probably going to be Bregman, but I'm probably going back to Devers. Devers 5,500. He let me down last night. He's not going to let me down twice in a row. He won't. 316 ISO, 403 WOBA. Even though I'm a Red Sox hater, I like Rafael Devers a lot. 296 batting average. 5,500. Okay, if not, I don't let BBPs make decisions, but when you got Bregman against Eovaldi, hits Eovaldi well, Eovaldi will give up a long ball. Bregman, a great pivot, $5,200, especially GVP pivot. Josh Donaldson is probably your cash play if you can't get the Devers. Donaldson is $3,900. Yeah, he's come to life now. And we just said he's getting like almost 400 over the last week. I mean, his barrel rate is 12% now. Boom. It was really low a month ago. So Donaldson would be I know a lot of people just won't play the Bringer of Rain, but I do, and I think he's in a good spot again tonight. So still Devers. I like Devers, so we like Devers. We like Bregman. Anybody cheap we like? Let's see. Rendon's in a good spot against Hearn, definitely. Even though to me, Rendon's always GBP play. Ryan McMahon against Cobb. Cobb just don't give up fly balls. Austin Riley, the righty on righty. Riley is definitely due to break out. He hasn't had a home run in a long time, since May 2nd, I believe. So we're gone 2 weeks. Riley's due for a home run. So Riley GBP play, like that play. But I'm going back to the well with Devers. I know I'm saying all these high price guys. I got to find value somewhere. If not Devers, Longo. If Longo's in the lineup, Yohan Moncada is only 3,600 though. I just don't like Moncada as a player. Donaldson is the play. So it's if Donaldson or Devers or Bregman, something like that. And I gave you a couple of values there. Shortstop. So it's Trey Turner against poor Merrill Kelly now. My man's getting beat up here. 3 for 9. So 333. Nick Ahmed owns Tyler Anderson. But Nick Ahmed's just been hitting terrible. I'm a big Nick Ahmed guy, but Nick Ahmed's having a terrible year. So no big GPPs. No, we do have one. Oh, it's a big one too. Timmy Anderson, 6 for 9. Whoa, Timmy Anderson. But Singer's a righty, right? Yeah. If it was a lefty, I'd be 1,000% on Anderson. But so Timmy Anderson is only 4,900. Hits Singer, so he's in play, I guess. Okay, so I didn't mean to jump around there. So shortstop, anybody who's hot at shortstop. So we have the Timmy Anderson BBP, who's really hot. Brendan Rodgers is hot. So he's of course tonight. Timmy A hitting 370. So that's that BVP. Trey Turner is. Bogarts came through for us last night. So you almost have to want to play him again, right? So shortstop's loaded. Where are we going to find this value tonight? So you like Bogarts. Even though it's against righty, but you can hit righties. Brendan Crawford gets to split against Cool. So he's in play in Coors, even though he's just hitting terrible. Probably Timmy Anderson, 4,900 by play. But if we want to go cheap, this Lewis kid from Minnesota, Royce Lewis, he had another double last night. I mean, he's hitting 286 since he came up, looks like. So Royce Lewis and played totally minimum price. If you can't get the Timmy Anderson, I mentioned Andrew Velazquez every night. He's minimum price. So Chris Owings against Talon. Renigifo, is that how you say it? Luis Renigifo against Hearn. He's only 2K. If anything, I'd probably go to Royce Lewis if I'm going to go cheap. So, but Timmy Anderson's your top play there. And then, of course, Trey Turner's always in play. Bo Bichette's hitting the ball. He gets the righty Gilbert, though. Is Crawford Crawford's only 4K. Is he eventually going to wake up? Maybe he's worth a chance tonight against Chad Kuhl. This might be the play. I mean, this Crawford just hitting 174 over his last 20. I've just stopped playing guys that are hitting under 200 over the last 20 games. It just isn't worth it. But he does hit. If you look at his last 150 games on the split, he's hitting 289 with 9 home runs. So he'll eventually come through. But I like Timmy Anderson. JP Crawford is starting to wake up a little bit again. I think last night he was 0 for 0, right? I think he was 0 for 4 last night. But Timmy Anderson, your play. Timmy Anderson, and then I would say Trey, and then go all the way down to Brandon Crawford at 4K, and the guy like a Royce Lewis. But once again, don't sleep on Bogarts. I bring this to the outfield. And we should be able to find like a decent outfield tonight. Like last night, we had Garlick. A lot of people played Eli White, who went crazy just with his stolen bases and stuff. I think he have 2. He had almost 20 DK. We have all the top guys. I don't have to tell you about all these top guys. They're all the starters. But let's go for somebody lower. If it's Tyler Anderson, Jordan Luplow, righty versus lefty. Luplo's been hitting really well this year. 328 ISO, 404 WOBA. Luplow is definitely Lupo's a boom bust guy, but definitely could lose one tonight. Who else is cheap? We can use Gavin Sheets in the outfield. I love Gavin Sheets. Hilliard's got against Cobb and Coors, lefty versus righty, cheap. Max Kepler, here's your play, 3,400. Kepler probably bet cleanup tonight. Kepler is a cheapo you can use. You can definitely use Kepler in cash. Mike Yaz hit home run last night. Now, I guess cool tonight. Mike Yaz might be your top play right there at $3,300. He hit one last night. Or to go to Jock Peterson at 39. Now, Jock had over last night. Jock's going to lose one in Coors in this series, but when's it going to be? I went to Jock last night and didn't use Yaz. So watch me tonight. I'll go to Yaz and Jock will hit it. Maybe play both of them, which I know some people did last night. So Jock and Yaz are both in play. Cody Bellinger's in play. 4,300. Cody's hitting well. I mean, no, he's not. Well, he's only hitting. No, he's under 200 last 20. His logs look okay. Anybody else? We have Jesse Winker. Here we go. Winker's cheap, only $3,100, and he's hitting okay. I'm a big Winker guy. Chris Mullins, of course, but Mullins is $5,600 now. I think Mullins might have a BVP. I didn't do BVPs, did I? So let's see. I think Mullins might be a BVP guy here. Here's one. Okay. Randall Grichuk. Now, everybody's talking about how bad Randall Grichuk's been playing. And he got, I think, 2 hits last night finally. Well, guess what? I found out that Randall Grichuk got fitted for glasses. And finally he's wearing his glasses. And boom, he's starting to hit. Go figure. And he is 8 for 14 off Alex Cobb. Obviously, these are coming from the Blue Jays days. But Randall Grichuk has always been a good pitcher. Especially I know firsthand, he was a Yankee killer. Grichuk, 8 for 14 off Alex Cobb. Now he's wearing his little glasses or contacts, wherever they are. Boom, Grichuk. And he's probably going to be one of the lower-owned guys of the Rockies. So, Grichuk may be my favorite play tonight. People stop playing him because he hasn't been hitting. Joey Gallo's hitting again. But Grichuk's got the BVP. Harrison Bader's got a good one against Trevor Williams. Wait, no, that's not even on slate. Sorry. Mookie Betts, he hits Merrill. And Cedric Mullins. Mullins is on 3 for 9, something like that. So it's nothing I would go crazy about. Okay, so anybody else? Lamont Wade, of course. What about like a Rafael Ortega? He's only $2,700. Since Ortega's leading off for the Cubs. You know, you look at these leadoff guys. Any leadoff hitter under 3K you want to look at. That's what Eli White did last night. So Ortega's in play if he's leading off, definitely. Anybody else that we want to look at that's really cheap? We all know the superstars. I don't have to give you all them names. But okay, so we got Wade. Why is AJ Pollock now only 2K? He's going to be against a righty, but it's Singer. So AJ Pollock, Eli White again against Detmers, Mike Yaz, Jock. I mentioned Ortega, Gallo, bunch of guys, and Kepler. I can't believe Jesse Winker's only 3-1 now, too. Okay, that's our outfielders. I said I'm not going to give you all the superstar names. So pretty much to go through it really quickly. Our top plays. Catcher, Will Smith, by far. But probably you want to go value somewhere. We got to find value somewhere. First base, free Freddie Freeman. Second base, Ketel Marte. Shortstop is going to be Timmy Henderson. Yeah, we got to find value somewhere. Devers. Devers is your top third baseman, like always. If not, go down to Josh Donaldson. So maybe we go really cheap in the outfield. There's some really good plays in the outfield that are cheap. I just named a whole bunch of them for you. Once again, Lamont Wade, AJ Pollock is minimum price. Throw AJ Pollock in there. Maybe get you a hit or two, and you can play some of these other big guys. Jock, Yastrzemski, Rafael Ortega, Joey Gallo, Kepler. Yeah, you can find value at outfield and play these big infielders. Because I'm playing Devers, I'm playing Marte, and I'm playing free Freddie Freeman. All right, guys. Who is my top stack of the night? Another tough one was, was run a big 11-game slate where the pitching is terrible. So you got Coors. If anything from Coors, I'm looking at Giants against Cool, against Chad Cool. Obviously, we keep talking about the Dodgers picking on Merrill Kelly. So obviously, the Dodgers, even though I like Merrill Kelly, I hate even playing against Merrill Kelly, but I guess you have to. Yankees, of course, against the Orioles and Spencer Watkins. You go get Houston tonight because of Nathan Eovaldi gives up the home run. Eovaldi has given up a home run at every start but one, I think. And he's got multiple home runs in three of his starts. So Astros, Yankees, Giants. I said the Dodgers. One more. Oh, the Braves. I think the Braves can be really under the radar tonight. Because a lot of people respect Hauser. He's been up and down. And Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, both those guys, you need to have them in your stack and go cheap somewhere else. Okay? So Braves, Yankees, Giants, Astros. I think that's it, right? Dodgers. All right. I can't remember what my home run call was yesterday. I don't know if anybody remembers. But it was Devers, right? It was Devers and Bogarts. Oh, I got my alternate right. It was Bogarts that one. But I was wrong then on Devers. Okay. Overall, who is the home run call of the night tonight? It is. I don't want to say one of these names I keep harping on. But there's a bunch of guys in good spots tonight. I would say it's going to have to be free Freddie Freeman. Yeah, it's going to be Freeman's the home run call. Or Devers. I'm going right back to with Devers. Devers owes me big time. So, yeah. Don't sleep on these Yankees tonight. As I'm sitting and looking at Spencer Watkins' numbers against righties. Oh, my God. So, Stanton, Judge. So, this is one of the nights, I guess, build your lineup and then go back to pitcher. Okay, but the wrap-up pitcher we're looking at probably for cash, I'm looking at, who did I say? Jameson, Talone, and Giolito. We just got to make sure Giolito's pitching. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you very much. We'll be on demand all day. Check out our Discord. It's a free Discord, but it's got premium rooms in it, plus some free rooms, especially with the tennis. They will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. for MLB. I think we have a golf show tomorrow too, so check that out on YouTube, and also a Formula One later on in the week. Eric, thank you. Eric's gonna be covering for me a lot for baseball today. Eric is our NASCAR guy, so thanks for being on the sidelines here. And that's it. Peace right here.